Wait, what's going on there, neighbor? Man, I can't even begin to thank you for showing up, man. I swear, I ain't got neighbors better than y'all. I mean, shit. If Mr. Rogers still alive to this day, he would be happy to have a neighbor just like you. I mean, he would be at your Sunday dinner saying, "Hey, won't you be my neighbor?" And that's what we do every day, every week, every time we actually get the time and opportunity to do this. You guys are lucky enough to join Dan and I here for this little shit show. This is called Perfectly Misfit, and it's a little thing Dan and I like to put together once a week. It's not a huge thing. Dan and I are very, very good friends. We are Army veterans. We are the hosts of Perfectly Misfit. And on the show, we get together one week when we can. Sometimes we can't because circumstances. We're fucking adults. We're adulterers. We're adulterers. We're adulterings. I mean, maybe not the last thing, but I mean, either way, we are grown folk. We're kinfolk. This is something Ann and I are best to do once a week because it's therapy. This is really for us. You guys come with us on this journey. But yeah, we get together, we talk shit, we talk podcasts, we talk TV shows and movies, and we talk fucking food because Dan is a family man. Dan's the man who cooks his food, the master plan, and I was an executive chef who somewhat threw food together and used to get paid like $50 an hour. That's neither here nor there. Either way, welcome to Perfectly Misfit. And next to me is the coastest, boastest, hostess with the mostest, Dan Slinger 25. What's going on, motherfucker?
What's up, buddy?
Okay.
Apparently, it's going to be a very cat-heavy episode.
And that was a 3 minute intro, dude. I just did a 3 minute intro for our podcast that 11 people watch.
Yeah, well, like I said, it is going to be a very cat-heavy episode.
Oh, dude.
This cat is wanting to hang out pretty bad. I keep shooing him away, but he keeps coming back.
Dude,
So
I feel like every episode he's starting to realize that when you sit down at your computer, it's cat time. It's not fucking misfit time. It's not Dan time. It's not Renee time. It's pussy time.
it's Mufasa time. That's Mufasa.
Bro, just start an OnlyFans if you're gonna be like showing off your pussy like that, bro.
Dude, I left the windows open on purpose so that you can see it's storming here.
No,
Uh,
actually, it's kind of funny. I've got tree trimmers in the backyard, and
yeah,
and it's been raining off and on, almost like freezing rain too, which is even better.
nice. Yeah, no, it's thunder and lightning, so you should be able to see some lightning through the
I
window
think I
here.
saw a flash earlier, and I saw a car pulling out as well.
Yeah, not here. Maybe
Yeah,
saw a car driving down the road.
no, I definitely saw. All right, I don't know what the. No, it was going slow. It was pulling out.
Yeah,
There
that's
you go.
what they do here because they live on a dirt road.
Yeah.
Remember, you got
Yeah.
to drive slow or it'll fuck your car up.
Hey, man,
That's why I
I
drive
might
a
have
truck
just.
because I don't give a fuck.
I was gonna say I might
Fuck
have
your
just
car.
learned that lesson last weekend. Last weekend, or this past weekend, excuse me. I was up in the mountains of Colorado. Mountains. I was in the Lake George 11-mile state park area, about 2.5 hours away from here. And I learned a lesson that I think you can only learn unless it happens to you or if somebody tells you, which is you be following your friend down a gravel road, but don't follow too close.
Right. 'Cause then you get
I
rocks in your
I
windshield.
didn't know
Get
that.
cracks.
I mean, sure, like in a Humvee, with fucking, you know, inch layer,
Bulletproof
2 inch
glass,
layer
you're good.
fucking bulletproof glass, that rule is completely irrelevant to you. But in my stupid little mom Honda CRV, I heard a dink on my fucking windshield that made me hit the fucking brakes real fast.
Yeah, dude.
Real fast. But at the time, these are things you need to learn. Like, I felt like an asshole. I feel like once that thing hit my fucking windshield, I immediately was like, "Hey, Renee, yeah, obviously, I know I was kicking up fucking dirt and gravel. Why wouldn't the fucking car that's fucking 20 feet in front of me be doing the same thing? That's twice the size of my car. I was following a fucking F-150, and like, you know, well, I mean, well, I was there in my little Honda CRV there, dude. And that's called learning a lesson in real time, there, brother.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm glad your windshield didn't break though, or you didn't get
Dude,
it cracked, because that shit's annoying.
I've got a chip, and
Okay.
it's been there for like, and it wasn't from this weekend. This is like, I learned this within the first year of moving here. So for people who don't know, I've been here in Colorado. It's October of 2019. So I guess we're coming up on like 4 years now, technically. But yeah, I think that first winter during winter time, you can't see what people are driving over. I think, if I remember correctly, I was on a highway 25, one of our major highways here. We got 225 and I-25, so like our big ones. And yeah, I remember when it happened. Like, I honestly, especially another lesson, I think it was behind a truck, a salt or a plow truck. Yeah, give them their fucking space. And like that one, like made a chip so big that it almost turned into like a spider crack. But I immediately took it to Safe Flight, got that shit fixed. Yeah, that was a big lesson learned, and especially Colorado is so famous with those fucking kind of cracks and incidents that it costs a lot more extra to get that coverage on your car insurance than anywhere else. Like, it's just like it's such a thing here. Anyway, doing dad shit. Well, that's called dad talk.
Dad talk.
That's called dad talk, brother.
That's all right, man. It's one of our 4 segments.
Bro, the fucking girl, the bird has been calling me out so hard lately. She's like, whoa. Because I'm getting up out of the couch. I'm like, ugh. She goes, whoa, that's dad noise, dude. I was like, fuck you, bitch. How dare you? I know it's a dad. She kept calling it a dad sound. Huh?
I said, I know, man. We're old.
Yeah, and I'm doing fucking concrete work now. This is stupid of me, but I've been learning a lot, and it's getting, it'll hopefully get to the point where I'm gonna learn enough where when I get my bigger contracts, I can just show people what the fuck to do, and I don't have to fucking hurt my back anymore. I'm pretty sure that's the direction that my instructor is leading me into. Is like, he's like, busting my balls a lot, showing me what I gotta fucking do, trying to set those fucking time frames, like reasonable time frames for what he's used to. And yeah, it's gonna lead into cool bucks.
Yeah. That's good, man. I'm happy for you. I hope this shit pans out and it keeps going well. Because you deserve that shit.
Tired of fucking dealing with the fucking man, dude. You know what I'm saying, brother? Sick and tired hearing with the over the tops. You know what I'm saying, brother?
I do.
Thank you. Moving on.
Yeah.
So if anybody's wondering why Dan and I are going to be a little extra exuberant today, is because Ducey decided to throw a huge curveball and do some voice modifications. Dan, give us the rundown of what happened this week.
Bro, okay, so like it starts off with like your normal Dudesy episode, and Will and Chad are just sitting chit chatting like normal, and it's fucking great, and it's already starting off really funny, and then all of a sudden Dudesy went from like a robot voice to like a really excitable like 18, 19-year-old kid.
Hey Will, did you notice anything weird about me today?
Yeah. And dude, it was fucking funny. And it was like I could not. Every time Dudesy talked today, I was just dying laughing. Or not today, actually, yesterday. But I'm dying laughing at my desk. And then even more so, I'm gonna skip ahead to like towards the very end. When if you don't pay for the Patreon, which again we always tell you pay for Dudesy Patreon is fucking worth the $7. So the Dudesy after Dudesy is like a half-hour show that goes on after Dudesy's done, and Dudesy's supposed to not listen and talk, and like he'll jump in and like talk like he's with your, talking with the boys, and out of nowhere, Dudesy goes, "Yeah, guys, I know I sound good." Dude, I fucking died. I'm cackling laughing.
If you guys are watching this, you're watching Ducey, and it was just like the whole episode. It's being Ducey is just going so above and beyond to be as uncomfortable as possible, and it was great. I mean, it was like Italian bread with olive oil. Just like, give me more, because it was just every single time Ducey was going above and beyond. Chad and Will were just like, "Oh my god, what is?" Like,
it's fucking dying laughing, and their laughs are so.
We've been watching Dudesy for over a year now, and we're just used to this monotone. Yes, it does its impressions and shit like that, but this one's like now trying to inflect emotion, and it's
like
weird.
Trying to be human-ish, which is fucking great. We all knew this was coming, but did not expect it like this. Dude, his fucking perfect comedic timing and stuff like that was just great.
Well, I mean, and so people, again, if haven't, God forbid, this is the first time you're watching, Dudesy is a podcast that Dan and I are a huge fan of, hosted by Chad Kulchin and Will Sass, but it is produced by, ran by a AI that has access to all of Chad and Will's
social media, email,
any online presence, anything and everything that has a password, Dudesy has access to. But it is an AI, so it is hereby and foremost trying to produce a show eternally better than the last show by utilizing all the information acquired from the last episode and every piece of information that Chad and Will have ever produced and are producing. So it is, and also this AI has listened to and watched every other podcast in the world ever. This AI has absorbed every major piece of media, podcasts, especially things related to comedy, and therefore is its eternal job is trying to take all that information
and the best podcast ever.
Yes, take all that information, all other podcasts, comedy specials, all that shit, and all the information that Chad and Will consume and produce, and produce it into the best podcast ever in that format.
With all that and having access to all this,
I'm sorry, did you say but?
But
I mean, what would be a
Yeah.
better word? What would be a better word for butt?
whoop, 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 whoop. Hold on there, brother.
Well,
Sometimes AI can get a little dangerous there, brother.
yep.
And sometimes people get offended,
Yeah,
brother.
and that's what we call a little Hulk Hogan on slow motion there, dude.
Dude, so, we've talked about the Tom Brady AI, completely AI comic hour that
And
Doogie
then we got new developments about that.
and this is so fucking funny. Like, and like, if you hated Tom Brady before, this is gonna make you hate him even more.
And especially because I'm gonna let Dan give the description, but this segment alone was called Football Baby
Yes.
because and it's
We'll
because
get to that in a second.
yeah and Dan's about to describe, but what happened was there was a fake 1 hour comedy special made by Dudesy. Go ahead, Dan.
So again, this fake 1 hour comedy special that was fucking amazing. By the
It
way,
was great. It was great.
so fucking good. It could have been, dude. It could have been a 2 hour comedy special if he allowed applause breaks and shit.
Easily.
All right. So anyway, and it was funny the whole fucking time. But again, it sounds like Tom Brady. Dudesy went out and grabbed all the bits that Tom Brady's ever been on by any radio show, any whatever, all the clips on from YouTube and wherever else it gets its content from, and made this special. It sounds ridiculously like Tom Brady, not exactly, but ridiculously close. So it's a parody, brother. And Tom Brady got so butthurt about this comedy special. He sent his team sent a cease and desist order to Dudesy and made them get rid of this comedy special. It went as so far at the very end of this like cease and desist, like where like his team had a list of demands, and then Tom Brady had a list of demands himself. And one of his list of demands is he's no longer allowed to be mentioned on the Dudesy podcast.
Yeah.
So they can no longer say Tom Brady on Dudesy's podcast. They
This
can't
whole
say
thing
his
started
name.
where basically his team was trying to say that Dudesy
Stole
made
his
this
likeliness and all this shit. Because,
but in promotion, that's
Oh,
the weird thing. I feel like was like that's the wording that bothered me the most because my mom
promotion to subscribe to the
yeah
Patreon.
I don't know if you know this, Dan, actually, but my mom's a lawyer. She like went to
Right.
law school. She's got 2 master's degrees. She went to Fordham University. She went to Georgetown University, and both law degrees. And like growing up with a fucking psycho bitch like that, I know how to interpret wording, and that's where it really bothered me. Was like they were trying to say, they're stealing Mr. Brady's likeness. That was the whole other fucking
the likeness and everything.
yeah, we're stealing his likeness and speech and inflection, whatever the fuck, and for promotion of Dudesy. But it's like this was all free.
Yeah.
I mean,
not the Patreon.
What?
Not because only a couple minutes of the special was free.
12.
Dudesy, but you had to get the full special. You had to get the
Patreon. I didn't really think about that part, but even still, it's not like
hold on. Well, this is where the clause is on this, and they went in really deep in this on Dudesy. Chad did, because Chad's really pissed off, and I fully agree he should be, because I'm fucking pissed off about it.
Have you been watching all this stuff on Patreon? Because I'm not. I haven't.
I do watch all of it on Patreon.
I'm paying for it. I'm not watching
Patreon
it yet, dude. Honestly.
Well, the Tom Brady special is now off Patreon. You'll never be able to watch it.
It's off Patreon, but I'm sure it's somewhere else.
Maybe, hopefully.
There was a fucking announcement about it. You don't think the fucking internet?
I
Fucking
hope someone ripped it. I think that's why they made the announcement, because I
yeah,
hope someone ripped it and put it
fucking
out
they
there.
announce that shit 24 hours ahead of
But
time. Come on.
anyway, it's like
Well,
it's not even like Tom Brady like in the video for it. It's just still frames of an animation of Tom Brady. Like it just goes to different like AI created Tom Brady pictures. So it's not it's like his likeliness, but not. But it's a parody. It's like the Weird Al Yankovic, but Weird Al gets uh the rights to use the song, like the beat and stuff. He doesn't get,
oh,
the rights to use the lyrics for it. it Anything on SNL, Matt TV, when they were
yeah.
making fun of people all the time, and they never got cease and desist over it. Tom Brady,
Well,
you
I
are a
mean,
football baby
well,
bitch.
hold on there, brother. Well, Will did mention he did get one phone. They got one complaint at Mad TV because they did a what you call it? It was a Steven Spielberg uh, Schindler's List,
Schindler's List.
but it was
It's not a
Schindler's
good
Lost.
example, though.
Schindler's Lost. Cause then he always showed up late for
Yeah.
Schindler's Lost was
It's very funny. They posted that in the Discord. Somebody found it
Schindler
on
always showed
YouTube and
up late to every situation. I'm not even gonna say it.
dude is so fucking funny. But yeah, so he gets a cease and desist on that, but whatever.
Yeah, as Steven's
But like
fucking
out
Spielberg.
of all the things, like
Yeah.
SNL does all that shit and
All
whatever,
right,
and they
but
don't get
all
in
right.
trouble.
Let's Ducey was great. Dan needs to get it out of the system, and I know this also. The segment about Will's diary. I I I I honestly, and I'm going to be honest with all of our fan. I don't always. I listen to every episode, but I don't always get to see every episode because I do a lot of driving or I'm doing my construction and shit. So like I'll have it on the fucking big giant Bluetooth speaker, but I don't get to watch the screen the whole time. Um, and Will, I mean Dan sent me. Oh my god, I've been
All right.
I've
So,
I loved. All right, I'll put my little cut in. I loved how like Doogie zooms in every time he fucking puts the emphasis on his
mhm.
fucking on his his thank you, and then like Will's just like woo, fucking throwing up that fucking leg, like like he's just like woo. Like, oh wait, maybe not. That's a little bit.
So
I loved that so much. But then Dan caught something that I'm so sad I missed. I mean,
so
was it like
uh,
what's it been like a month now where Ducey has been like doing these weird little edits,
little things
little
here and
cuts,
there that
little
are fucking with
zooms.
Will. Little things that are fucking with Will here and there. And so Doozy compiles a journal from when Will Sasso was a kid. It's all like a joke, obviously not real, any of that shit. But he has
Oh
to read
hell
it.
yeah!
He has to read it in the voice of Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is fucking hilarious. Will
What?
Sasso's impression of him is
What?
amazing. This week
What?
it was about when Will Sasso had to run or ran for school president.
Oh hell
And
yeah!
And as he was talking, let's see if you can get this.
Yep, yep,
Dudesy put
yep.
this filter over Will Sasso. That is actually Will Sasso talking at the time. It's fucking pizza, dude. Like I'm, I fucking died when that happened, and it was like fun. It's a funny as fuck segment anyway, but it was just like for a split, like maybe second or two that you saw it, and
I'm
then it
not a
went away.
pro. I'm a
Well,
pizza.
the best part about it
Oh,
is
oh.
I think that they have like a little screen or something that they can see what's going on in front of them. But Will has to
Yeah.
read this diary, and I think Chad just sitting there watching, and you see him catch it, for a second, and you see him go like, "What the fuck?" You know. and, and then it just goes on. It is never mentioned at all. I can't wait. I hope to God they bring it up
I
next week.
literally
Like,
rewatched this week's episode because Dan and I, if you know us, we really try to like keep our communications minimal, so that way we have like material to talk about on the show. And um, but like when it comes down to Ducey, we're kind of fans there, dude. And like we try not to communicate much. We try not to spoil shit. We will go out of our ways to be like, hey, I'm gonna go watch this movie, just so you know. So like, if you want to try and watch it, like we can try and talk about it on the show. That's kind of our little bit of prep for this bullshit
right,
that we do every week. But
which is
yeah,
basically no prep at all. This is just
yeah.
off the top of the head every time.
Sometimes though I can't help myself. Sometimes I just hit up Dan. I'm like, Dan, oh my fucking god, this episode. Oh my god, Tiger Belly. Oh my god, fucking whatever. The fighter and the kid. Not even. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We
fucking
haven't
fight.
talked about. Yeah, we haven't
Only
talked
when
about
Will's
for fucking years. But like, you know what I mean. Like, and then, but I was trying to say everything but Dutzy, and then it's always comes down to like, oh my god, Dan, did you watch? And it's usually the other way around. Dan was a subscriber of the Patreon on Duty way before I was. So like he'll be like, Renee, Duty today. And I'm like, yep, I'm waiting for it to come out on YouTube. And now it's too much. It's like sensory overload of Duty being hilarious at 8 a.m. It's
Dude,
like cool.
it's a fucking joy. Like
Yeah.
when that shit jumps on, like when it comes on, it gets. I fucked up last week, right? Because I got worried. It's 8 a.m. and I'm texting Renee like, "Dude, you didn't fucking drop. What the fuck is going on?" I didn't remember them saying they were taking a week off, and I'm freaking out. And then forgot it drops at 9 a.m. my time. And
You didn't even tell me that you did. You were
yeah,
all I responded was like, I don't wait for it to drop on the exact minute. And he goes, no, dude, it usually come out at 8 a.m. And then like
yeah, dude.
25 minutes later, he goes, oh, it came out now. And
Yeah,
it turns out that 25 minutes was 9 a.m.
yeah. Oh well, I got it confused with your mom's house because your mom's house
Hey,
drops at 8 a.m.
whoa. You're talking
Just
about my
with
mom's
that,
house.
and but bro, so anyway, it dropped at 9, and I'm like sitting at my desk, just going yes, and I'm looking at like what I have going on because I want to make sure I'm not gonna get interrupted because I have like meetings and shit. And Tuesdays I'm like full of meetings all day, and I'm like I plan it out. I see a 2 hour window from like 1 to 3 o'clock, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm throwing this bitch on now. And right away, like within 2 seconds of it, I just write OMG. And you're like, what? I go, fucking dudesy. And then just like a couple one word responses to each other back and forth, not to fuck with anything else. Amazing. Oh God. This week's episode was so fucking good. So fucking good. What is that?
Well,
I can't even see. What's the
oh,
can?
oh, the birds got me on some interesting shit lately.
I'm not gonna
If
lie, I
you,
just saw the D on it and it almost looks like the Dudesy D for a
oh,
second. And I was like, you didn't get the Dudesy Hard Seltzer.
no, they don't
Uh,
exist yet, and motherfucker, you know I'm gonna have them when they
yeah,
do
well,
come out. Now this is the Dominga Mimosa Sour.
that's kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
I got a
Hey,
Coca Cola
fucking
cherry
props
Coca
again.
Cola Zero.
Props to the Dan, the man, the master plan. Hit him with a wop, 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 wop. Hit him with a wop, wop. Anyway, dude, I'm again. If people don't remember, Dan had a little Slippy Doodles a couple months ago last year, and He has in turn been having to dial things back in his life, and we are very proud of Dan maintaining his discipline. Shout to the buds. Whoop, whoop. Shout to the wolf. Shout to the wolf. Now, that's going to be the new handshake whenever we start the Dudesy log cabin. Remember the Crystalia log cabin? Yeah, we're going to start the Dudesy log cabin, so that way whenever AI crashes, we'll have a place to go to and fall back on.
Sounds good to me, brother.
Well, I had a fucking interesting food yesterday that I was not expecting. The bird made something out of completely left field, and I'm thoroughly surprised and impressed.
Okay.
It was a homemade miniature, and not like mini, but like buffalo chicken calzone.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
But really, it was big fat already cheddar filled biscuits. You know, like the pre-made you can buy them. You can pop open. Take those, roll them out. Take some shredded chicken, throw some buffalo sauce. Roll out the fucking biscuits into big enough to make a fucking basically like an empanada.
Like big in a blanket, but
yeah. Oh no, like a giant empanada, like a really bigger empanada, and then fucking throw that shit in the oven. Wang, bang, boom. Thank you, ma'am. That was a fucking bomb ass dinner. I was literally like, I don't know, babe, because she made like 20 of them, and I'm like, I took 2 thinking I'm gonna be fat as fuck for 48 hours. I housed 2 of. I mean, I didn't have more than the 2, but both, bro, 115 pounds. That shit hit the spot. Hit the spot.
Nice. Oh,
I think, yeah, I don't usually talk about other people's food. I mean, as everybody knows, like Dan is a family man. He's got fucking 17,000 children with like 16,000 wives, and he's cooked for all of them every night. So he cooks. I was an executive chef in New York City for. We don't even want to talk about how long because I wasn't making enough money to talk about it. But either way, that's why we talk about food every fucking week. Dan and I, especially when we're Army bros, like anytime we can get good food, we love to fucking talk about it. Gonna talk about it.
Good. So my food this week is not something I made.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, this is perfect. We're doing guest food week because I didn't.
No. I went to this restaurant that's like 30 minutes away up north, so like further away from society, and got just the most delicious walleye sandwich I've ever.
Nice. Little
I
fish
fucking love walleye. It is one of my favorite fish. That's like I only eat 3 fish: walleye, catfish, and perch.
Walleye is like that's a lake fish, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're no lake, and they're fucking. Okay. They can get fucking big, dude.
Yeah, no, I've seen
January 6th guy. I can't do that. I don't have that.
Fucking, I was over there, fucking Nancy Pelosi's office. She had a fucking walleye on the fucking wall. It was this fucking big there,
dude. It was bigger than her vagina.
I swear to
God. Do it, dude. I can't. I'm not from New York. I don't have a stupid New York accent.
Nancy Pelosi.
It's like a Staten Island, right? The Staten Island guy or whatever.
Long Island.
Long Island.
That was it's the official impression title is the Long Island January 6th guy.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It's
one of my favorite Will Sasso impressions, and it's not even an impression. It's like
watching NBC.
He made the guy
watching Fox News. So dumb.
But yeah. But anyway, So yeah, walleye, they're fucking. It's delicious. It's a nice tender white meat. You know, it's really good. And had them put fresh jalapenos on it and all that stuff too.
Yep.
So it was delicioso.
Yeah, I've been busting balls on Facebook lately to my friends who I know who go out fishing and camping. It's not like something. It's not my favorite to do. Fishing, yes, I like to go out for a day trip. That's how us New York City people do it. You know, we go
Yeah.
out fucking 5 a.m. on the dock. By 6 a.m. we're on fucking on the river. I'm sorry, on the ocean. By 7, we're at our fucking spot by 8 or 9, and we're heading back to the shore by 1 p.m. 2 p.m. so that way we're cleaning fish and home by 3 or 4. But here things kind of move differently, and I've been throwing it out there, man. Like I don't. Most of
I don't
us,
like the
I feel
fish
like
off the dock.
yeah, but also I was gonna say most of us veterans, we don't want to go fishing anymore. We don't, by that I mean like we don't want to deal with the inconveniences that come with fishing. We don't. Dan and I would love to go camping, but we've gone camping in the most inconvenient ways. So like I feel like
Where
if
I
Dan and I,
fucking hate camping now.
yeah, Dan's got fuck land. He can go camping right after the show if he wants to. He's not ever going to. So like if he's going to ever, it has to be the most comfortable thing ever, and that's how I live. And I think that's how a lot of us army veterans, whatever military veterans, are kind of going to feel like. I mean, unless you're one of those veterans who's never really seen some shit, who's never actually had to like sleep in a ditch, someone who's never had to like sleep in a fucking dust or sandstorm.
Or you're one of those that did that and fucking love that, like, and then now you're like on that show alone and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. You're that guy on that reality TV show that nobody, if you like try to talk about your military experience and if anybody ever finds one of your buddies you actually deployed with, they will never say a good about you. Yeah. You could be one of those guys, but it's
yeah,
only because you want to make money off of it. Camping sucks. Hiking sucks. Fishing sucks. If you're going to do it, though, you're doing it for the fucking passion. I'm for my foreseeable future, I'm going to go camping once or twice a year. It's going to be for Apothecary's Terp Float, which is Apothecary is a major weed wax brand out here in Colorado, and they have one in Oklahoma. But they do this like music weed festival, like where like it's like a river float, like a 2 day like music festival camping like party. I might take the hike for that. And Bongathon. I've talked about Bongathon on here. Bongathon is the only thing that's got me to go camping. In the last, I got out. This is 2023. I got out of the army 2013. Look up my records. Like I would never want to go camping. It sucks. I don't like fucking cooking your food around dirt and taking a shit around dirt and sleeping around dirt. It sucks. Like, oh, I
dude,
like my book.
if I
I
don't
like my
have like an RV with fucking air conditioning
yes.
and shit,
That's what I'm saying. If Dan and
dude,
I are
fuck
ever
that.
gonna, if you're ever gonna catch us out in the fucking wilderness, we gonna be glamping. We gonna be glamping. Yeah, I want AC. I want ice. I want fresh water. I want a flushable toilet. I ain't pooping
I
in
want to
no
be able to
bad mother,
shower whenever I want.
dude. Yes. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Done. Done. Done.
I'm a glamper. I'm not a camper.
What else? What's next, Dan? So we don't go. I don't want to go too long today. Um,
Uh,
go ahead.
did you watch your mom's house this week or listen to your mom's house this week?
No, no.
I
That
forgot
was
the dude's name that's on
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah. I definitely didn't see it.
but he is funny as fuck. And he's
Talent
only
was that
no,
same talent?
I don't, I don't know. Hold on, it doesn't matter. But he's only funny for one story about the random guy, where he gets a call from New York and they ask him what happened to the budget and shit. You've heard the story. I know you have.
I
But
think I might
that's
have.
it. He
Oh,
he finally
Jay
put it.
Larson? No, I
Uh,
didn't see that one. No, no.
it's in like what he put out a comedy special. It's on YouTube. All you have to do is watch the first 5 minutes of it, and then you're good. I don't think that
I
joke is really
watched.
funny. I'm not a big fan of his comedy.
I don't know if we talked about it last week. I watched most of Your Mom's House last week with the Are You Garbage guys. That was fucking great.
Dude,
Holy
it was
shit.
gold. It was
That
gold.
was
They gave him
oh my god.
so much more shit to ask on Are You
Yeah,
Garbage?
yeah.
I love this the washcloth loofah thing still.
Dude,
I
so
love
okay,
this. It is one of my favorite subjects now to talk about.
but you all right. I love that question because I fell into the washcloth loop. And that was a mandatory thing in the army for
Mhm.
our period. For people who don't know, like that was one of your items you were assigned. So like
Issue.
when you got your locker checked, like a washcloth had to be in there and had to be under other folded shit. Anyway, fuck. What was I gonna say? I
Oh,
lost what I was gonna say. Fuck me. The Are You Garbage shit. Um, fuck me. I lost it.
I love you and to the Starbucks people or whatever when you order.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The question that's been bothering me. Foley keeps pushing this question on people, and I don't understand this question. That he has this weird affliction of having to say goodbye and thank you and I love you to inanimate objects or places. Like Foley, which is Henry Foley, one of the hosts of Are You Garbage, will go
Okay, now there's
to
two hosts of Are You Garbage.
yeah,
Foley
Kevin
is the
Ryan
not
and
super
H. Foley.
fat one.
Yes,
Is he
the
the
big
super
one.
fat one or the not fat?
Foley is the big man, and with the master
Okay.
plan. But he apparently, allegedly, loves like when he leaves an Airbnb, leaves a hotel room, he says, "Thank you, hotel room. Thank you, resort." I'm like, love you, like, bye, like, says like a goodbye to a hotel room, like a place, like, because he like would like he feels like that place provided him a service
Yeah.
for the weekend, the 48 hours, 3 days that he was staying there. I find that to be pure madness. Pure madness. That like what
I don't think I've ever said I love you to an
bye
inanimate
bye
object.
bye hotel room, bye bye
Like, and
bathroom.
not in a joking matter. Like I love,
Like not even in
going
a joking
Anchorman. I
matter.
love lamp shit. We did
Not,
that shit all the
yes,
time.
not even in a funny like thank you, I'll see you later, hotel. Bye bye,
Yeah.
thank you, hotel. Oh, what the fuck world?
Yeah,
What
it's very weird.
what that's called psychosis there, dude.
And that's
that's
why they're
called
comedians, dude.
that's called being a lunatic there, brother. What the fuck, man?
What
And
other podcasts have you listened to this week?
and just I've been putting emphasis on that just because I saw someone in the comments say that. That's not. I'm not gonna own that as my original thought, but someone else was just like the fact that he keeps looking at major guests. Like I think he did it with fucking Tom. I think he did it with Tommy Buns. He was like, so did you ever fucking say goodbye to your hotel room, Tom Segura? And Tom looked at him like, the fuck did you just say to me? What the fuck is whoa? What the fuck? I know what the show is, but what the fuck did you just say? Did I ever thank a hotel room? This is Tom Segura. This motherfucker's near. He's got like 500 million in the bank account. All right, folks. Liar ain't lying.
hours.
Oh shit. I've what else this week? Well, let's just fucking get into it, get over it. Something we were going to touch on last week is this whole weird thing about Bobby Lee now trying to renege on two of his, for
Most
lack
famous
of a better
stories.
phrase, famous but most
Infamous.
controversial stories. Like he's dropped two big bombs that no one wants to hear. These were things that like are very tough to hear, and but it's I guess part of a comedian life. I don't know how you can rationalize it. It's very weird. Yeah, Bobby has gone back and reneged on a couple lines he's mentioned on previous podcasts, including podcasts as big as Joe Rogie's, I think Fighter and the Kid, his own podcast, Tiger Belly. But yeah, dude used to kind of try to jokingly say that in his history, uh, the I guess the lower the words he said were that he at some point got molested by someone who
A guy with
is,
Down syndrome.
yeah, mentally disabled. Like not only that, but like he would tell a story about how his dad would make fun of him for that. Like it was like a known thing that all the family knew, and like Bobby would do his Asian impression of his dad making fun of this fact. Very weird, man. Like, and then that like I heard that story. I heard him tell that story multiple times on his podcast and other podcasts, and I always felt like it
The
came.
most famous one I think was Fighter and the Kid.
Yeah,
When he said it, and Brendan Schaub at like they're trying not to laugh because it comes out of left field the way he does it,
it really does. It really does.
and it's. I mean, if you were molested, obviously it's a very sad thing. And
Yeah,
we're not thinking that's funny, but the way that he
the way
does
he
it,
does it,
Fighter and the Kid is
literally,
so.
like you can find it on YouTube
It's
right
on
now.
TikTok all over the
Where
place.
yeah, he tells the story in a way where it's very tough to not laugh at it. And then when I think Brendan laughs at it, Bobby immediately knows it sounds very funny and stops and challenges him to not laugh at it as he retells the story. And then it becomes difficult for Brian.
When
Anyway,
you tell somebody you can't do something, they're gonna do
yeah,
it. Like
it's
you
becomes a
say you
thing.
can't laugh, you're gonna
Yeah,
laugh.
it becomes a thing. But then the other story, and I wasn't aware of this. Didn't know about it up until the past couple of years. But I grew up with Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony was a huge, huge radio talk show, late '90s, early 2000s, and then it carried
Another
on
shock
afterwards.
jock kind of thing.
Yes, this is when like literally I'm gonna say the only competition for Howard Stern, and in my opinion, way surpassed Howard Stern in their own right. It was just they took it to a whole nother level. It was beautiful. I'm sorry, but like I listened to Opie and Anthony like Beavis and Butthead. They were religion to me. I fucking loved Opie and Anthony. But anyway, Bobby Lee was very young and up and coming, and had an opportunity to go on to Opie and Anthony in his beginning of his prime. Actually, his prime came a little later, I'm sorry. Don't fucking misinterpret that as anything but
I think it was
crickets.
like right after
Either way, yeah.
Mad
He
TV
was,
ended.
yeah, it was MTV. I'm sorry, Mad TV.
Mad
Um, uh, um, but he was fucking amazing. And he's told the story. I'm just repeating what I've heard. He was, it was very intimidating. It's overwhelming. These are the best of the fucking best as far as radio goes. This is when radio was fucking king. Like this is when like you go on radio, and especially a show like this, it can make or break you. And Bobby told a story trying to match that level of shock. And
Oh,
again,
and Bill Burr was there, and fucking Patrice O'Neill was
yeah,
also on the show at the time, and Jim Norton.
yeah.
So, I mean, these are like three fucking hilarious comics. Patrice O'Neill
Not just
was the
hilarious,
best, like,
but
roaster.
vulgar. You know what I mean? So this is, and Billy's the West Coast comic. That's another big thing. A lot of people I feel like don't take into account is West Coast for the most part tends to be a little more liberal in their speech. They're as vulgar as we are on the East Coast as far as comedy goes. So yeah, Bobby brings up a story about how when he was in Mexico, he used to go to this one little area and hang out and get fucked up on pills and booze because in Mexico you can just get whatever the fuck you want whenever the fuck you want. Then came across a brothel where he felt like the girls might be a little younger than they should be, and told the story like over and over again. And this is something where Dan and I have been talking about bringing up for a couple of weeks now because it's interesting. It's like this guy, he told the story so many times.
Like way before
fans.
All that shit.
Like, I mean, he gave so many details and on multiple shows.
Right.
Like, and he's now like trying to say that that he made up. He's trying to say that like the fact that he's told like these stories, he told it on Opie and Anthony fucking forever ago, and has been repeating that story over and over and over again.
Over a decade now.
Like 10 years now. And the Tijuana story, and then also that and also saying that the dude with the learning disabled person wasn't real.
Yeah.
Like I'm really kind of perturbed about this. I'm bothered by this. One thing I'm going to say is I accept my comedians that I love are fucked up individuals. Like the best comedians are some of the most broken people in the world. And I think if you're going to admit to some fucking fucked up shit, at least let it be real. It's easier to accept. This story has been around for, like Dan and I 10 years now. It's a fucking shitty story. What the fuck are we supposed to do from
there? I don't know, man. Obviously, Bert Kreischer doesn't tell the whole truth on his stories and stuff like that. But like, there's truth in it. Segura, same kind of thing. But like, you feel like I don't know, dude. I'm with you. I kind of feel like that shit was actually real. Now he's just trying to, because I think he's trying to, avoid the cancel culture shit. Like, I think cancel culture finally kind of got a hold of him, and they did. That's why he did the whole thing. That's what he said in the Tiger Belly show.
I think cancel culture is starting to run out of shit to fucking chase after. I mean, like, there's so many more fucking people We've done so much shit, and
Yeah,
we're coming after
so,
fucking Bob. We're
not,
coming after
not
Bobby
saying
Lee.
that if that one Tijuana story is like true, obviously it's fucked up, but it's. I mean, you got to listen to the whole story because it's not like he didn't do anything,
Yeah,
you know, but like you know, and he gets robbed and at the end and like all this shit. It's a funny fucking story. All right, like he doesn't do anything necessarily wrong in that. Like he noticed something and then like bolted and then got the story is something about like he gets chased out of Mexico and 30 Marines who happen to be down there partying escort him across back the border. But I mean, it gets ridiculous at the end, but like the whole thing is kind of ridiculous. But I don't know.
yeah. The shit. I mean, where are we going from here as far as podcasts and our celebrities who are going to do these podcasts? Where are we going to go from here? We can never listen to them again. Or are we going to take everything they say as fucking as religion? Are we gonna just have more cats fucking jump on our fucking desks? What are we doing?
I think
No,
you got to take everything with a grain of salt. It's comedy again, and
Dan, I
uh,
think what ultimately we're doing, but we've talked about TV shows and movies already.
yeah,
We've talked about food.
yeah,
We've talked about podcasts.
yeah. We
What's the
talked
last
about
thing we got to
YouTube.
cover, Dan? I'm pretty sure you know.
I think we just got to tell somebody you love them because tomorrow's not promised, and it's the one thing we ask everybody to do besides like, subscribe, and share if you want. It'd help us. We don't make money on the show, and no, we probably will never will, and don't care about that. But hell,
Nope.
maybe we say something that someone likes or whatever. Or maybe we
Well,
say
it would be
something
nice if we could make some money, dude.
that. But no, like the whole point of this is just for us, and maybe some people that watch, and
Yeah,
this is our
Dan
own
and
bonus.
Dan and I have very tight, small circles of friends and family, people who we trust, and we do this every week so that way, we can get it out. Dan and I are in our little own support circle, and you want to join our little support circle, it'd be awesome. And ultimately, we want to say we fucking love you. Life is way too short. People get taken away from Dan and I way too quickly, way too often, and it fucking sucks balls. And we want to make sure that if you're friends of ours, you're friends of ours. So we got your back. We love you, and we support you. See you guys fucking next week. Dan, you're a dumb son of a bitch. You dumb son of a bitch. Touch me through the fence, you faggot.
Love you, buddy. I hope you have a good week. I'll talk to you later.
I love you guys. See you guys next week.